Very good day to you. I am very pleased to sit with you today to take you through the first few items of the CSEC English Paper 1. That is the paper for June 2018. All right, so it is with great pleasure that we do that. So I'm just going to look at the first 10 items or so. I'll give you some tips for these items. And of course, in a subsequent video, we're going to continue and I'll give you some tips and a little bit of background, content background that is going to help you to be able to effectively answer this past paper for those of you who are working past paper as a means of revision. All right, but of course, if you do want to have one-on-one attention and sit with a tutor who will take time to go through your weaknesses and help you with those weaknesses so you can take specific advantage of the areas that you want to improve, you are free to do so at Edu-Web Services. The contact number is 660-8836. You just make contact with them. A registration form will be made available to you, and you can go ahead and give the specific information about what you really need assistance with, and they are going to process that and someone will get back to you. All right, so here we have 5 items to quickly look at, and it's important to read the instructions. So here the instructions, it says, each sentence in this section has either 1 or 2 words missing. So take your time always in any exam mode. Take your time and read the instructions. We already know that there are several sentences in this section, and in each of them, 1 or 2 words are missing. So what do we do next? It says choose from the 4 options of the word or pair of words which best. Now this word is capitalized. It means that attention has to be paid here. Attention must be paid to words that are capitalized, underlined, or even written in bold. So here we see instructions underlined. It's because you are expected to carefully go through what the instruction says. So we're going to choose from the options that we have a word or a pair of words which best completes the meaning of the sentence. So it suggests to us that there may be other words or that may apply that, yes, there may be other words, let me say that may apply to complete the sentences, but one of them or one pair of them may be the best pair. So it says make your choice on the answer sheet. So let's go through number 1. Number 1 reads, despite his short temper, his willingness to give of his wealth to help others to succeed led people to call him something. So despite, even though he had a short temper, despite, even though he had a short temper, his willingness to give of his wealth to others, to help others to succeed, led people to call him something. So he may have had a short temper, but he had other qualities that drew people's attention. He was very willing, and so he was very giving. He gave of his wealth, right, to see others succeed. So it didn't really cause him to be seen in a bad light because of this word despite. Whenever you're presented with sentences or challenges like these, it's always good to take your time and read the sentence. Look at the words. There may be some words that you may be familiar with, all right, that may help you to paint a picture. And always try. English involves the use of your imagination. So always try as much as possible to imagine what is happening in any scenario. that is presented to you. So even though he had a short temper, he was willing to help others. He was very giving in his help to others. And he wasn't just giving, but he was giving to others so that they too can succeed. So what would that make him? Because we see here it says it led people to call him something. What would they call him for having those qualities that they noticed? Would they call him hasty? Would they call him foolish? Would they call him benevolent? Let's check the other option. Would they call him old-fashioned? So the best word in this case is benevolent. And if you're not familiar with the meaning of the word benevolent, it means giving. It speaks to kindness, right? So it's very suitable to the qualities that he displayed in this sentence. So the answer for item 1 would be benevolent. Now we're moving on to item 2. All right, sorry about that. Let me just take my time and scroll. Good. It says, when parents display a something for one child, the others are likely to feel something. When parents display a something for one child, the others are likely to feel something. What do parents usually display? We're talking about a parent having, in this case, more than one children, right? More than one child. So parent having more than one child, a parent having children in this case. So when a parent displays of those children that that parent has, when a parent displays something for one of those, one child, the others are likely to feel something. What do parents usually show individual children that cause others to feel some kind of a way? What way? We don't know as yet. Let's check the options. At option A, we have fondness and we have lonely. Let's put it into the sentence and see if it fits. When parents display a fondness for one child, the others are likely to feel lonely. Do parents often show fondness, affection to only one child? Is that the best pair of words? And do the others feel lonely? Let's check the other option. When parents display a dislike for one child, the others are likely to feel indifferent. Doesn't sound like it's the best pair. Option C. When parents display a preference for one child, the others are likely to feel jealous. The others are likely to feel jealous. Does this sound like something we can relate to? Does it happen quite often? All right. Seems like we can come back to this one. And the last option reads, when parents display a concern for one child, the others are likely to feel angry. Why would other children feel angry when a parent displaying concern is something good? So it seems so far that we've narrowed down our options to 2, right? It's likely to be between A and C. But the thing is, we are told that we have to select the best option. So in this case, the best and most fitting option will be option C, when parents display a preference. I prefer, or we call it favoritism, because you see, fondness has to do with affection. And in most cases, parents are loving and affectionate to all their children. But they may just prefer, in lots of cases, one to do things and call upon one more often than others, maybe because that one is a little more kind and responsive and responsible. All right, so the answer to number 2 is C. Do not forget that you are likely to find a number of options or other options in one item that may be suitable, but because the word best has been capitalized for our attention, it means that we have to, at the end of the day, choose the word or the pair of words that are best suited. All right, so we've just looked at number 2. We're going to look at item 3. An attack on someone when that person is most vulnerable may be something, but is always something. If you are to attack someone, remember I said to imagine the circumstances. As you read the sentence, take your time to imagine what is happening. So if someone is attacked, if you launch an attack on someone, when that person is most vulnerable, they're in a state where you can take advantage of them. It may be something to you, but at the end of the day, it is always something. So let's go through the options. Is it that it may be inappropriate? It can be inappropriate. But is it always thoughtful? To show thought means that you're taking time to think about someone or something. So can we say that attacking someone is thoughtful? And when we talk about thoughtful, we're talking about it mostly on the positive side. I am showing consideration for you. So are we showing consideration for others? When we attack them, is it always that we are showing consideration, even though it is inappropriate? Such actions do not reflect consideration for others. So we've just struck out option A. Option B says it may be rewarding, but it is always satisfying. Let's put it in the sentence. An attack on someone when that person is most vulnerable may be rewarding, but it is always satisfying. Now, the word conjunction but presents us with the idea that the other word that has to come here is a word that may be opposite in meaning. So we have rewarding and satisfying, almost they're sharing meanings, right? They are similar in meaning. So we've just disqualified item B, option B. An attack on someone when that person is most vulnerable may be destructive. Maybe destructive, but it's always distressing. Maybe destructive, but it's always distressing. No, we've just struck this one out too. So let's see D. We're left with option D. It may be effective, but is always unkind. So it may be effective when you take advantage of someone when they are most vulnerable, because logically that's the best time to take advantage on someone or to attack someone when they are most vulnerable. That is when the attack is going to be most effective. But we want to show it's not a good thing. There's a contrast. But is always unkind. So the best suited pair of words for this item is option D. All right. Now we are going to move up back to item 4, and I'm just going to run through item 4 and wrap up. I'll wrap this session up at item 5, and in the next video we're going to look at 6 to 10. All right, so stay tuned, stay logged in, subscribe to our channel, the Edu-Web Services channel, because that's where we're going to upload videos from time to time to guide you and give you tips. But if you want to take advantage of one-on-one sessions that will sit with your child or sit with you, the child, directly, this is if I'm talking to the child, and if I'm talking to the parent, will sit with your child, and you can even be a part of that. Feel free to subscribe and to reach out to us on 660-8836, and let us know how we can help you help your child get prepared for the exams, whether it's in the next few months or whether the child is writing next year. If we are going to be doing it over the next few months, then we will basically be looking at the challenges that the child has first and foremost. All right, so let's move on quickly to item 4. While the committee members something insults across the floor, the chairman tried in vain to something order. While the committee members something insults across the floor, the chairman tried in vain to something order. So what did they do? So here we get an idea. Visualize it. Students, always visualize the scenario that is presented to you in the sentence. So we have an idea of a meeting. So while the committee members, they are possibly at a meeting, and in this meeting, they are throwing insults. Well, I just put a word in there, but insults, they are doing something and insults are flying across the floor. So what are they doing with the insults that is causing insults to be moving across the floor? Right? The chairman, while this is happening in that meeting, the chairman tried in vain. So he tried, but it didn't make sense. He tried to do something to orders, bringing balance and, peace. So let's see the options. While the committee members, and we're going to put the pair of words in to see if they best complete the sentence. While the committee members hurled insults across the floor, the chairman tried in vain to restore order. Sounds like it can work, but we have to go through the other options. We don't want to jump on the first pair of words that sound like they are suitable, because there may be other pairs in this item or in the options presented that may work, and we have to make sure that at the end of the day we select the best pair. So option 2 says, while the committee members spoke insults across the floor, the chairman tried to impose order. So they spoke insults across the floor. It sounds so gentle, the word spoke, that I don't think it quite paints a picture of what was happening, because I'm thinking this meeting was crazy. Whatever was happening, the disruption was crazy, right? So let's put a pause on option B. While the committee members gave insults, also sounds mild and tender. The chairman tried to maintain order. To maintain means that you are managing a condition that already exists. To maintain it, right? So if I say to you, maintain those grades, those excellent grades that you have, right? Maintain those excellent grades. It means that you've already been attaining excellent grades, and I want you to keep that going. So we cannot think that maintain order is best suited here, because order was never there if insults are moving across the floor. So we've struck out options B and C. While they exchanged insults, again, this is a mild term for the picture that is created, the chairman tried to conserve order. So we strike this one out too, and of course we know by now that option A is the best suited option. All right, now we're moving on to item 5. The last item I will look at. To conceal his true activities, the spy quickly something, a plausible excuse for his presence there. To conceal his true activities. Conceal. His true activities. Why did they say his true activities? Even if I don't know the meaning of the word conceal, I am getting the impression that whatever were his true activities, he didn't want people to know. So right away, I'm thinking to conceal his true activities means that to hide his true activities, right? So to hide his true activities, the spy quickly something. Now, there are many things one can do to hide things. So what is the best suited word here? The spy quickly something, a plausible excuse for his presence there. So he had to explain why he was there because he didn't want them to know what his true activities were. So what did he do? What was the clause? How did he come about? He fabricated a plausible excuse. Sounds good. Let's check the other options. He divulged a plausible excuse. So divulged, it's like you're sharing information that you shouldn't, right? So obviously he didn't do that. He explained the plausible excuse. No. He disguised? No. He fabricated a plausible excuse. All right? So it was really, really fun working with you on these 5 items for today. And I trust that you take your time. Take the tips that I've shared with you. Take your time. Read the sentence. Visualize the scenario. Eliminate the options that are not best suited. And remember the word best, right? Suggests that there may be other options that can apply, but you want the one that is the best of them. So when you visualize or imagine the scenario, it is going to help you get to the bottom of what you're dealing with. I look forward to the next few videos with you. Remember to stay tuned. Click the subscribe button on our YouTube channel so that you can always be notified when we release the CXC videos to help you. Go ahead and click that button now and stay tuned for other videos and in other subject areas as well. But remember, if you want one-on-one attention, reach out to us on 660-8836. I can assure you, you will get quality educators, quality tutors, quality professionals that will sit with you and ensure that by the time you are ready, you are better informed and better prepared to write your exams. Have a good one.